There are the 12 Aries personality traits secrets revealed. Planet Mars is authoritative for Aries as Mars is the planet of fire, energy, aggression, and also the birth of action events. Mars, by being the ruling planet for the zodiac sign of Aries, influences them in many ways. Aries are usually seen as an inspiration for others. Aries are typically prejudged as the underdog because of their cool first impression. This is not always the case because once they are sparked, Aries can be cunning, great explorers, and discoverers, full of energy and much more. Now or never. Time wasting is out of the question for Aries. Aries thinks quickly and prefer not to waste time. Most of the time they succeed in doing things the right way. Aries' downside in many moments is rushing to get things done quickly. Sometimes, Aries becomes needlessly too impatient about doing things, which results in failure, but Aries is able to start over again stronger. Aries is the typical guy who says now or never about almost everything they're about to start doing. Loyal to the end. Loyalty has to be one of best-known Aries traits. According to Aries, without honesty climbing up the ladder of life is difficult. It is Aries' best personality quality, and they will stand by this quality all their life without changing a bit. Aries is too honest that they are capable of distinguishing liars apart. Because of their honesty, many Aries have managed to be excellent friends with many and have managed to earn their respect also. Never predictable. Just like the ram that usually doesn't always walk the same path, Aries also rarely do the same thing twice. This makes them very unpredictable with their action because they typically change their strategy or method of doing things. This type of behavior has helped Aries rise above others in many fields of life. They tend to be spontaneous and creative. Never give up. Failing is not part of the Aries traits, although in hard times they do fail but are able to rise again. Aries works hard to do the opposite. Aries tends to be brave and fight for what they think is right and worthy. Usually, they put on a lot of energy and determination to face the difficulties. They never surrender to anything until they achieve their goal. Aries sets the tone for the motivation and driving forces, physical or moral, in any field they may be. Don't fool Aries. Aries hates smartass people. Also, Aries hate it when others take them for fools. They reckon that this type of people talk more than they know or understand. Aries does the opposite. They will first make sure they know whatever it is before they speak about it. Usually, it happens that if Aries knows that something very well, then is likely to refuse others' opinion. This is something Aries sees to improve. Great leaders. Aries excels in leadership abilities. This role is well earned from lots of work and sacrifices. Through a lot of challenges, Aries ought to make a great impression to their employees who later on don't have to think hard of making the decision to promote Aries. Once the role is earned, Aries will maintain it for a long time, usually, until there are no more challenges to take. They're stubborn. Aries tends and usually is a very hard-headed individual. Very often Aries is seen to dig their heel in firmly without wanting to change mind. Usually, Aries insists and is stubborn for a useful purpose or for his own good. Aries tends not to change their opinion, idea or plan and tend to stick with it to the end. When all goes well, Aries will prove others they were right, and their stubbornness was worthy. Being stubborn doesn't happen very often. Usually, it occurs when they are confident. Not violent but a fighter. Real friends know Aries too well, and they love to be beside Aries for good or bad. Aries may make too many friends, but along the way, Aries will filter them out. Usually, Aries give the first impression of being violent, but they aren't. Instead, they want to be fair and protect the righteous from the wicked. They may end in a fight to protect the weak from the cruel, and in situations like this they expect to have their best friend's backing. This is typical of Aries traits qualities. No middle way. Usually, Aries tends to be black and white in character rather than complicated. Aries can be too friendly to those who understand their true nature, or reverse if their personality or the way they function is misunderstood. Aries doesn't know how to stand in the middle, so they will tell anyone that something is wrong or right. Also, patronizing is not typical based on Aries traits, therefore, they will say it straight to anyone's face without hesitation. Compete me if you dare. Deep inside every Aries is a burning fire for achievements. A person who has strong Aries influences tends to think that she is better than others, especially when it's about competition. It is not too hard to notice that Aries is determined to win without thinking of the risks which they may face. If a race is mentioned to any Aries, they will say, "Game on," or "Let's do this." A fight, a race, a bit of physical or verbal sparring, or an opportunity to do things in new ways are what keeps the Aries deep fires burning. Aries is a genuine person. Being number one on everything is what they strive for. Aries desires being number one. The secret fear of a typical Aries is if they aren't be liked or respected by others. Instead, they do get some recognition for their efforts. Nevertheless, failure is never a problem for Aries because the word failure doesn't exist in their dictionary. If they fail, they'll be back in the game with new energy in no time and will make sure to win. For Aries, losing is part of the winning process, which is why warnings of imminent disaster are usually neglected. Think hard before you say something. Aries isn't known as someone who talks endlessly senselessly. They have manners and usually listen to others expressing their opinions. When Aries has to express their thoughts, they would want others to listen to them attentively. Aries is a good speech articulator and would think adequately before they say anything. Therefore, they don't like being interrupted. Aries would make sure that their ideas stand and are valued correctly. Aries are intelligent to the point of being able to convince others. They seem to be competent in articulating speeches, making listeners wanting to hear more.